guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So for today's video, I thought we could apply makeup as well. I say as always, but we don't always apply makeup in my videos, but we do quite a lot. But I thought we could have a bit of a fun story time. So something quite significant happened in my life, and I just want to discuss with you guys whether you think this is law of attraction or psychic abilities. So yeah, come join me and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. So I am going to be talking quite a lot in this video, and I might forget to mention some of the makeup products used, but as always I will link everything down below in the description. So I thought today I would use the Bouncy Jelly Mist as a primer. So I've used this before a couple of times, and I found that the best way for me to use this, you can squirt it all over your face like a mist, but the best way I found to use it is just to squirt a little bit in the hand and then apply it to the face. I'm going to use this as a primer today. Of course, I've done all my skincare already. I've already got my Glow Protect Lotion SPF 30 on, and even though it's a rainy day, it's always good to have that protection on. So this feels really nice and cooling and smoothing, and it's giving a really nice glow there. So I did struggle with this product when I used it as a spray. I was trained that you need to wipe it from around the eye area, but then I've watched The Body Shop do adverts on this and they just spray the whole face. So I don't know, but if I just avoid my eye area and use my hands to apply it, I feel like it does a lot better than squirting my hair with it and everything. But yeah, just use the product how you want to use it. So if you watched my video on the Bouncy Jelly Mist, you'll know that it has properties in there to help protect against blue light. So I'm always recording on my phone and then I edit for hours upon end, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to add a bit of Bouncy Jelly Mist to help protect against the anti-aging from the blue light. So my face does feel really nice and dewy after that. So I think today I am going to be using Nikki Tutorials palette again, because I really want to try and create a eye look just using this palette and see what, you know, these nice glittery things can do. I've used this palette a couple of times in the past, but really drawn to using it today. My goodness, what am I going to use for brows today? I was going to purchase a new brow product, but I ended up removing it from my shopping basket because I'd like spent too much money. So I'll just see what I've already got in my makeup bag. So yes, my story, my goodness. So I've been really excited to talk about this, but I've been kind of really nervous as well, because it's just laying myself open and, you know, popping myself out there for discussion. So I am a little bit nervous about it. Yeah, I'm really going to try and work with the brow spot again today. For all you guys out there that hate a solid brow, I apologise, but there's no way I can use this to do brush strokes because, oh my goodness guys, I don't know, I'm scared of doing brush strokes, you know, with eyebrow pens. I think just the whole filling in all the gaps that I've got, and I've got quite a few gaps that it just really does like scare me. So we all know brows is not my forte. I did use the brow spot again today, but I just kind of went for it and filled it all in because guys, we know on this channel you don't come to me for brow tutorials. I am going to prime my eyes with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Original. I absolutely love this stuff. I love that how it just really doesn't look like I haven't got anything on the eyes. It's so natural and lightweight, but it just gives that little bit of texture for the eyeshadows to hold onto. Zomer and apply that into the crease. So when I was younger, I just had a sense of knowing that certain things were going to happen, and that is just what was going to be. And you know, if you hear anyone talk about law of attraction or psychic abilities, there's just this knowing, like they just have a knowing or a feeling that that is the truth, and they're not going to argue with it because they just have a knowing about it. And when I was 6 years old, I used to have so many things in my life that I just knew how my life was going to pan out. I just knew certain things, like just so many little things like I knew that I was never going to go to university, but I'd be all right and I'd always get by in life and I'd have enough money to have a house and a family and stuff. Like I always just had that knowing from when I was like 2, when I was crying about not wanting to go to nursery, and I was literally like, I don't want to go to nursery, and promise me, you like saying to my mum, promise me you won't make me go to university because I don't want to go to university and I know I don't need to go to university. I know I'm going to be all right in life and I really just don't want to go. And that was like when I was 2. So when I was about 6, I think it was raining, and I absolutely used to love Puddle Lane, which was like this TV programme in the 80s, early 90s. And I was sat in the living room and I was just staring outside the window. I was an only child, like I always had to create my own kind of fun and stuff, so I was often just playing by myself and I was on my own quite a lot of the time, unless I was out on the street. I lived in a little hamlet as well. There was literally 2 streets where I lived, and luckily there were quite a few kids on my street, which was just a blessing, because can you imagine living in a hamlet and having no kids around and being an only child? So I was really lucky with that, and I was just staring out the window, and I think I was probably really lonely at the time. Now looking back, I think a recent kind of feeling about this story is that I was lonely and therefore I created this. So I was staring out of the window, just staring, like not looking. I didn't have my focus on anything in particular. I was just staring out. We had a driveway and there was lots of trees, and I was just staring out the window. And I remember seeing this little girl, and she was jumping around in puddles, and at the time I was like, I really wanted a friend. I was so lonely. I really wanted a friend. I really wanted a sister. I really wanted like siblings and someone to play with. And I saw this little girl and I was like, in my head I was like, oh, she's my best friend. And then I just had a knowing that this little girl was going to be my little girl when I grew up. The whole vision was this little girl with, you know, when you're younger and you always kind of want what you haven't got. Adults do it as well, but I always wanted curly hair, but I always wanted like golden kind of curly hair. I always wanted to be blonde, I think, a lot when I was younger. And as an adult, I've always kind of wanted to be blonde, so then I could dye my hair like pink and all these bright colours and pastel colours, because as a brunette, it's really hard to do anything like that, to do anything crazy with your hair. So I always wanted to be blonde. However, guys, I absolutely love my hair these days. Don't worry, guys. I do love myself. So as we all should, not being vain, but I just think we should all accept and love ourselves for who we are, not want to be what we're not. Yeah, I always wanted curly, blonde, golden curly hair, and I always wanted like blue or green eyes, or like my eyes are hazel, but I always wanted them to be a bit more green with the hazel, which they did become more green as I got older, and in different lights they are more green. But I really wanted, yeah, like Goldilocks hair, I guess, but not that tight curl, but just really nice curly kind of wavy hair. And so I saw this little girl and she was jumping around in puddles, and she looked like that with the gorgeous golden blonde hair, loose curls, and these bluey greeny kind of grey hazily eyes. Then all of a sudden I just had this knowing that this little girl was going to be my little girl when I grew up. I just had this knowing, and that was it. I got on with the rest of my life, never thought about this moment again. That I thought then I would go in with Aura, which is this gorgeous, let's have a go on the fingers. That is just stunning, isn't it? Thought I would just apply that with my finger. Oh my goodness, that is so stunning. That is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. I used this palette in last week's video creating the Daisy eye look, and I used the white colour in this palette Ivy in the inner corner there, and it really stood out. So it definitely stands out more if you were to do a cut crease, or like I've done in the inner corner here, there's no shadow underneath it, it's literally just that primer base, and that works really well. I just love the pigment on these, and do you know what, I quite like that it's glitter all over. Do you know, I was trying just to use the one palette, but I do want a nice kind of blending colour at the top there. I mean, I could try Basic Truth and then it keeps it all the one palette. Should we just do that? And then that looks quite nice. Ideally, I would have gone for more of a lighter colour, but I used so many palettes last week that I just want to use the one palette today. I still don't know why this has two lids. I think it's really kind of not the best thing. As much as I love Urban Decay, I don't think it's the best thing for the environment. I don't know why it is like that, whether it's to make it leak proof or whether they had the packaging like that and then they changed all the packaging so they gave it an extra lid. I really don't know, guys. If you've used this for years, let me know whether it's always had that second lid going on. I think they could really reduce the plastic packaging on this for sure, but I do love the product itself. It's the All Nighter Urban Decay Makeup Setting Spray. So I will go ahead and do my foundation. So as usual, I'll be using what's left of my Sahara Light Fresh Nude Foundation from the Body Shop. This has got SPF 15 in. So I'm going to use the foundation buffing brush from the Body Shop because I've really liked how this is applied the last couple of times. I will always choose the Fresh Nude foundation brush for bringing the foundation down to the neck. It's just, I feel like this brush does drag a little bit, and this one's just so super gentle on the skin, and I think on the neck, like, you know, necks sag on their own without dragging them down with a brush. Foundation duo fibre brush instead. I'm really enjoying layering up this foundation at the moment to cover up kind of all my redness. My goodness, last week's video I was so red, like literally what was going on. I think it was kind of like a lot of the weather, because the weather was just so humid and thunderstormy, and I think it just caused me to be like really red and blotchy, like severely red and blotchy. It was absolutely horrendous, my goodness. The week before, so we had a red tongue situation, and then we had a blotchy, a red face and neck situation the other week. So I will conceal with a Fresh Nude Serum Concealer. I definitely feel like I need this on the brow, above the brow where I've done my brows and then I've done my foundation afterwards. Like, it just looks a bit of a mess. I'm not gonna lie, guys. So obviously I went on with my life, and then when I was 26 I ended up having a baby girl, and I hadn't put any thought into the pregnancy. I actually thought I was having a boy when I was having it, and then literally as I was pushing her out I was like, no, that was Freddie, where I thought I was having a girl, and then when I pushed him out, the second I pushed him out I thought, no, it's a boy. But no, with Freya I had no thoughts about, you know, my pregnancy, and I just always knew that when I was pregnant with Freya I was very poorly through it, but I was never worried about her. But I was always worried about my second pregnancy while I was pregnant with Freya. And for ages I was always shopping for boys' clothes, so I was always really drawn to the boys' clothes when I was pregnant with Freya. And so I never once thought I was having a little girl. And then of course I gave birth to Freya, and you know, had this beautiful little girl, and she like literally stole my heart. I just felt really connected to her. Obviously, you know, a lot of mums do feel naturally connected to their babies. But I just felt this instant, like, I don't know, she just made me feel really like calm and safe. And we had this thing where whenever we were around each other, we just instantly feel like calm and safe. And you know, like having anxieties and such as an adult, like I'd be scared to do something, but as long as this baby Freya was by my side, I'd be able to do it, and I'd be really confident. So we kind of, I don't know, just give each other this natural aura of support. When Freya was about 18 months, she had this gorgeous curly hair and, you know, these beautiful eyes, and I just looked down at her one day and I was like, oh my god. And Johnny was like, what? And I was like, well, I'm gonna sound stupid if I say this, but I had a vision of Freya when I was a little girl, when I was 6, and it literally is Freya. And I hadn't thought about this thought. I was now 26 and I hadn't had this thought. I was actually now 27 because I'd have had a birthday as well. Or was I 26? Anyway, never mind, 20 years on. I hadn't thought about this vision I had when I was 6, and I was now 26, looking down at my little girl thinking, oh my god, like the vision, like literally the girl in the vision was Freya. And then what really cemented this for me was soon after then, so that was the October, in the December, a couple of weeks before Christmas, we moved to a new property, which was this house that I'd kind of always envisioned myself living in, and it was gorgeous. It was so out of our budget a few months before this, and it was beautiful. We were just renting it, but still it was out of our budget. It was like double the budget of the apartment that we were living in, and it was just stunning. It was a semi-detached house. It was like from around like the 40s or the 50s. It was absolutely gorgeous, and it had, oh my god, just everything about that house. As I lived in that house, I realised more and more and more I envisaged living in a house like this as a kid. It had parquet floor, and I'd never lived in a house with parquet floor, but I just knew that when I grew up, I had this vision of a house that would have parquet floor in it, and you know, it was just this house. And anyway, this house was on a private road, so the road that led up to this house was private. So, you know, private roads, they're not normally like properly tarmacked. It's down to the residents to tarmac each, to pay for like repairs outside their house, their segment of road. So it wasn't tarmac, it had all these craters in the road. And Freya, when she was like 2, she had a second birthday just after the Christmas that we moved in there, and literally she just spent hours upon hours jumping around in puddles, and she was just this little girl that I had envisaged when I was 6. She had the loose curly hair that was like blondie golden, and these gorgeous hazel eyes, these bluey greeny hazely eyes. And I just looked at her, and it just really cemented to me that she was my best friend, my little girl that I'd envisaged when I was 6. So a while after that, or actually in the mix of this, I started getting all kind of like spiritual and going to these workshops and meditating and working on like spiritual, like what was it called? It was like not spiritual awakening, it was more psychic development. So I was doing these psychic development workshops, and more things came up. So I was learning about psychic developments and just having a knowing and just believing it to be true, and then it comes true, and like kind of seeing the future. So I was working on a lot of things of like just learning how to see the future. And in a lot of the workshops that I did, I mean, I remember, oh god, I've got so many stories. I don't want to make this video too long. I've already been filming for 50 minutes. I don't want to make this video too long. But there were certain things in these workshops that I'll talk about another time, but they were just like truth, but you wouldn't know that. But we were like, you know, doing like psychic things, psychic scrying and different versions of psychic things, or you know, like tarot, and just envisaging and just all these different things on our partners that we knew nothing about. and I would end up just like knowing things about them. So that was fun, but that was the stage where I was going through a lot of developing these psychic abilities. So at that point I was like, oh, it was a vision I had. It was a vision I had when I was little, because I've had lots of these visions. I've had lots of little episodes in my life. I'll talk about these another time. But I've had lots of little visions, things that have kind of cemented then that they were psychic visions. They were pieces of my future that I had seen. Now there's another thing where time is like, we grow up, the past is the past, the future is the future, and the present is the present. But others believe that time, everything is happening right now in this minute. Absolutely everything that happens in your life is happening right now. We can discuss that another time as well. There's so many different beliefs. And then I came across law of attraction. So while I was doing all these meditative workshops and meditating and literally doing things like the Ogham and the runes and literally everything, I've been doing a lot of meditating as well. And I was surrounding myself with a lot of spiritual people. Quite a few of the people around me were discussing the law of attraction and the secret, and, you know, talking about that you can manifest anything you want. Like, you can literally manifest these things. So then it led me down the path of, was it psychic visions that I saw, or was it the law of attraction? And the more I think about it, I've been up in the air juggling this thought and thinking it was a bit of both for years. And then very, very recently, I've got more and more into the law of attraction, the universe and everything, you name it. I kind of dip in and out of this kind of stuff. I'm really, really hooked on it all again very recently. And I can talk so much about things that I've manifested and help you guys as well. But literally, something very, very recently led me to think I manifested Freya. Because when I look back at me being 6, I was very lonely. I was an only child. I was so bored that day at home. I was just so bored with nothing to do. You know how kids get bored. You get bored, you think you've got nothing to do. My kids get bored now and they've got so many things they could be doing. But yeah, everyone gets bored, don't they? And I was having a day where I was super bored. It was raining, like literally I've got nothing to do, I've no one to play with. I think all the other kids must have been on holiday or something, or I wasn't allowed out, but you name it, I was bored. And did I manifest Freya? Because I longed for a best friend, I longed for a sibling, I longed for somebody my age to play with. I longed for this best friend, like a brother or sister, just somebody to play with. And Freya is what I saw. So now very recently I'm thinking, did I manifest her? I was so bored. I needed this little girl so bad to be my friend when I was little. Did I manifest her? So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts below. So I'm going to add a little bit of Soma and Aura underneath the eyes again, just to mirror what is above. As above, so below. I want to add the tiniest bit of ivy just in the inner corner of the eye. These sparkly colours are really kind of mushy in the pan. So I'm going to use my angled blusher brush from the Body Shop, and I'm going to use the Baked bronzer as well. So I believe this just comes in the one shade. I've had this quite a few years, but it just lasts for absolute ages, like literally, because it's baked. And I just want to go on really delicate with it. This bronzer is super buildable, and I just want it really, really light today, but you can really build up with it, and it's got really nice subtle luminous sparkle to it too. So I'm going to use the same brush for blusher. So I think this might go really pretty with the eye look today. So this is a Honey Bronze Dome from the Body Shop, and it is in 02. So it's like the pinky peachy shade. I like to kind of dab it and not drag it. So apply it like that and then blend it out with the brush. And I think that's just like really nice and subtle, but it's really kind of peachy toned like the eye look today. just really blend it in, but I just think it's so subtle and it gives a real nice glow to the skin. Now it is being discontinued, but I think it might still be available from the Body Shop website. It was the last time I checked, but I haven't had a look today, to be honest. You know, I hardly ever use this, and every time I do, I just think it's so stunning that I do need to use it more. God, I just absolutely love it. Blush just makes me so happy though. Like blush and highlight just make me so happy. Even if you're not wearing eye makeup or even makeup, like literally you could just bob a little bit of that on and it just gives you such a nice rosy shimmer to the face. This is a coconut bronze glistening glow, and this side here I'm going to use with this tip here for the highlight. So guys, what do you think? Do you think that I manifested Freya, or do you think that it was like a psychic vision, like I just saw the future? I'm so fascinated by this, and you know, might never know, but yeah, it's just, there's so many different things that happen in my life all the time, like literally just tiny little things. Like I once staring out the living room window again, I was like, oh, my nana's gonna walk around the corner in a minute, and she did, and no one knew that she was visiting. She just hopped on a bus that day and decided to come visit us. So yeah, just little things like that, and just so many little things that have just happened over my lifetime that continue to happen to this day. I definitely believe in like a knowing and like psychic abilities, and I also really believe in like the law of attraction as well, that you can literally manifest anything. And at the minute, with my asthma and my hay fever, I'm really trying to manifest that. I'm saying to myself lots of times a day that I can breathe freely and easily, and when I do that I feel like my breath is just so much better, because I often end up having to go on steroids like twice a year, kind of like this time of year, and then in like October time as well, September, October. So I'm really trying to manifest like these gorgeous clean lungs, and I know there's lots of things I can do. Like I have put on a lot of weight in lockdown, though I know that eating healthier, I'm starting to have smoothies again for lunch. Oh my goodness, I'm actually having a deja vu now. I'm literally having a deja vu. Like deja vus as well, like they are such a thing as well, aren't they? Like literally I used to have deja vus like so often as a kid. Oh my goodness, there's just so many things that fascinate me that I really truly believe in. Yeah, there's so many things to like research into, isn't there, that just like so fascinating. I just absolutely love all these things that go on in the world that I find it so fascinating. I really find that meditating as well is really helping me with my breathing, and I've definitely meditated and used the law of attraction, manifestation, whatever you want to call it, to help health concerns in the past. Now I'm not saying that it can cure everything, but I'll tell you my stories in a future video. Oh my goodness, as soon as you pop on mascara, it makes the eye look just like even more striking. Now I always used to wear lashes, but I never wear lashes anymore. I just like to use mascara. So this is Perversion mascara from Urban Decay. I absolutely love this mascara. I've done readings for friends as well. I've never put myself out there as like a tarot reader or anything, but there's different means of divination that I've used on friends, like ribbon readings and tarot cards and such, and I said things to my friends, or I've even just been stood with a friend and I just had this sensation of knowing that I needed to say something. I said something and they've been like, oh my goodness, how do you know that, blah 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 blah, and it struck up a conversation, and I've said things to friends that no one would ever know, you know, about their past or something, and things that have happened. And you know, there's a sense as well that that could be like, you know, psychic, but also, you know, we're looking into like the law of attraction and everything. The law of attraction is all about that we are all one, we are all connected, we are all like this one like higher vibrational being. And in that sense, you kind of would have a knowing. If we were all one, then you would know what's gone on in other people's life if you were really in tune with that. So there's so many different reasons why, you know, these psychic or manifested or oneness universal things could have happened. So yeah, I'm just so fascinated in all this kinds of stuff, and I'd love to hear if any of you guys have got any stories like mine, like let me know your stories down below, or if you don't feel comfortable sharing them with everyone in YouTube, then just DM me your stories. I'm sure stuff like this happens to lots of people, you know. I'm curious, have any of you guys had the same story as me, where you've just had a knowing that that was your daughter in the future, or son or daughter or anything? Like, I'd love to hear all about it. And if you are manifesting anything in life, then I'm just sending you guys lots of love, and I'm super excited to hear about your future manifestations when they appear in reality for you. So I do have this corally lipstick. Now this is so old. I actually got it from the designer outlet at York, from the Body Shop there. And this is Colour Crush lipstick, and it's in shade 140. And I just thought that might look quite nice today. It might be over the top with the corally colours, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, wow. That is really shiny. That is a really nice shiny lipstick. Now, I do feel like shiny stuff like this really does show in on my dry lips. It really does show it up. So what I'm going to do is wipe that off and then apply a still stuck to my lips, just use a bit of toilet roll there. I'm so glamorous. So if I use this kind of nudie colour just as a base underneath, hopefully that will work a bit better. So this lip liner is from the Body Shop, and it is Windsor Rose. Really reminds me of something my nana would have worn, this lipstick. Do we like that? I don't know, do we like that? Do you know, I can't decide whether I love it or hate it, this lip, so I'm just going to leave it on and go for it, because you know what? I never wear a corally lip. Like, I never wear a shimmery lip like this. Really, really creamy, this lipstick. It's really, really creamy. Like, it almost feels like as wet as a gloss, but not sticky in any way. I really like that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making this video. I was super nervous this morning. I was literally thought I was gonna throw up at one point before filming, and I'm so glad I did. Something inside me just said, look, step out your ego, set up your lights and just film the video. It's something I wanted to film for quite a few months now, because I just love stuff like this. I love like things that involve the law of attraction and manifestation and psychic abilities. So guys, I'd love to hear your stories and also your thoughts and feelings and beliefs on this stuff as well. I'd love to get into a discussion with you all. And if you have any stories that you want to share with everybody, then please do leave them down below in the comments. And if you want to share it with me privately, then you can message me instead. I've got my Instagram and my email in the description as well. Alternatively, if you would like to share your story with me and then I come and apply my makeup and share your story with the world, then also let me know if that is something you would be interested in. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll leave everything I used today linked down in the description, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Have a fantastic week, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Bye! What does that even mean? So my story starts when I was 6 years old, and my goodness, I tell everyone this in day-to-day life. If it comes up, I just tell everyone. so nervous to tell you all, the whole of YouTube, like literally, my goodness. I should blow that because now there's going to be dust everywhere, isn't there? My goodness. I swear I spend a lot of time just looking in a pile of bushes for a certain